Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Build-A-Bear, what time is it there where you are?
It's 10 past 5 p.m. on a Friday, so it's excellent time to drink a beer.
I hear that. I hear that.
So it's good evening for
I
you.
mean, arguably, I didn't have like a huge work week, but still,
Still, Build-A-Bear is coming to us all the way from Belgium.
I'm still there.
Yes. Yes, he is in Belgium.
But
Belgium, the country.
he is in spirit here with us on the episode
Yes.
Always.
and in video. Always. He's always here watching. That's not creepy at all.
Before we introduce Build-A-Bear, let's introduce ourselves. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast.
Our podcast name is Yeti,
Walks Into Basecamp.
and I am Yeti Legs.
And I'm Basecamp.
We are your hosts, your producers, your editors. We are a married couple who love to hike, and we want to talk about it on a podcast. So we started one, and this is our podcast. So welcome.
Welcome. And actually, he says we, but Wesley is the one who produces and edits this. I just feel like I'm joining because I just don't have a lot of time in this season.
Behind every great man is a great woman.
Good words. Good
It's
answer.
true. It's true.
Good answer.
I don't know if you can see the bags under our eyes, but
We're
it's been a
so
very long work week.
We just want to be on trails so bad.
So long that we actually missed starting Build-A-Bear's interview by an hour because we
Sorry,
were so
Builda.
exhausted. Sorry about that.
Long week. Well, do we want to make our wow, I keep hitting hang on. I'm still getting used to this mic thing. Do we want to make our announcement
Sure.
and then get into it?
Yeah. Well, I guess first of all, let's start with a drink of the choice. Build-A-Bear, yours is going to be very different than ours because it's like 10, 12 in the morning. We're drinking coffee.
Yes. Cheers.
But
to
I am
that.
drinking my coffee out of a mug club from a brewery, Riverwatch Brewery in Augusta, Georgia.
I'm drinking my coffee out of a Starbucks mug with a dragon.
So Build-A-Bear, your drink of the choice is going to be very different than ours. We have coffee, and what are you drinking over there?
Well, I'm kind of just having one beer
That's
just
a
next to my
big.
face.
Is
It's
that the size of a wine bottle?
yeah, it's 75 centiliters, so exactly one.
This is what
So
we call.
yeah, it's Lupulus Hibernatus. So it's a winter beer, so kind of a
Mm.
strong brown beer. It's just like a friend got it to me a while ago, and for a while I didn't really drink much, so I've had that in my fridge for a while, and now was a good time to open it.
This is a
Great
celebration,
idea.
right?
What's the ABV on it?
It's 9.5.
How are you feeling right now?
Pretty good. Still have some left, so.
I feel like in vino veritas, but also in beer veritas.
Yes.
Yes. So hopefully we get some good truth from you today. Speaking of Build-A-Bear, let's go ahead and give him a brief introduction so everyone knows who is sitting in on the episode. So we first met Build-A-Bear on the Pacific Crest Trail in 2022. We didn't know his name. We didn't know who he was, but he was running through the San Jacintos with these other hikers named Kappa, Jedi, and Johan, I think was the other guy.
Yeah, didn't
And
have a trail name yet, and
didn't have a trail name yet. And so Build-A-Bear used to be the policy officer at the Department of Energy, but he took a career break for about 2 years to do a lot of hiking. And that hiking includes the PCT, the TA over in New Zealand, the Appalachian Trail. And I feel like you've probably done other stuff that I don't even know about. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But Build-A-Bear, what makes him so unique and why he's on this episode is because he created a lot of his own gear. And we feel like that type of ingenuity and that trail engineering would be vital to interview on an episode about hiker hacks, really. So we have Build-A-Bear here with us. And whenever we first met him, his hair was several inches shorter on the face and the head.
yeah, I probably
Yeah.
could find like one picture from way back when on the PCT
Yeah.
with
We should
Yeah.
find
full
one.
everything
Yeah. We
except
just
pants. Like the beards gets longer and the shorts get shorter.
Yeah.
The shorts get shorter.
Yeah.
That
gotta
is
let
so true.
You gotta let the thighs breathe, right?
I feel like everybody has short shorts by the end of a long trail.
Yeah,
It is a
yeah.
very true statement. And also with Build-A-Bear, we pretty much leapfrogged with Build-A-Bear the whole way. So like we met you, not even 2 weeks into the trail, and then would stumble upon Builda like in random places.
Yeah, you know,
it was so fun.
just like taking a trail zero because he had a package coming in the next day.
It was raining. Like
It
it
was
was one of
raining.
the 6 days over 6 months that it was raining on the PCT. And
Yeah, it was.
I have nothing better to do.
Yeah, he was just chilling in his tent and we're hiking.
Yeah.
And we like, I think you made a comment or something inside of your tent. And I was like, is that Build-A-Bear? Like we hadn't seen you in like a month or two. It was so random.
Yeah.
We caught up for a
Yeah,
bit.
it had been like a minute or two since we seen each other.
Yeah.
You know, what does one do on a trail zero? Do you just like watch stuff on your phone or listen to podcasts, or are you staring at the birds?
Yeah, I did like kind of the same thing that I do while I'm walking. So just a bunch of thinking, listening to audiobooks, and yeah, I took a few naps and
Thinking about the next piece of gear.
I
you're
don't know,
going to
maybe I
craft.
did some repairs or stuff like that, but you know,
Uh-huh.
anything you can do in bed.
There you go.
There's a lot of things I think you can do
Yeah.
in bed.
Oh yeah.
What
Like play with yourself.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Such a child in my head.
I won't ask you if you did that.
I'm not sure I did. Maybe.
I feel like you would remember that.
It was really close to the trail though.
As long as you
Like,
do it too.
I could see the trail from my tent, so
You were
yeah.
very close.
Maybe
yeah,
not.
I think you could touch the trail from your tent.
Just
No,
about.
it wasn't that close.
If you rolled out for like 3 good 360-degree rolls, you'd be on trail. Yeah.
I guess that's a good way of thinking about it.
It is.
I do have a question, Builda. What is a policy officer?
It's just a boring desk job. It's just like so what I was doing is I was working on like the natural gas and the security of supply for natural gas. So it's mostly risk assessments and risk preparedness plans. So it was like a lot of paper, like writing stuff for
Okay.
it comes from like European regulations. So it's just, Europe gives homework to Belgium and it comes to the administration and, that stuff comes to my desk and, okay, I have to do that homework. But
Okay.
Gotcha.
it's by design, it was something that we would have to update every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And after 4 years, it's just, okay, same thing again. And but by that time it was like 2020 and not the best time to just quit your job and go hiking, so I just had to
Yeah.
bide my time for a couple of years before the PCT.
Suck
For
it up
another
and
2
save it
years.
up.
Yep.
Yeah. Suck it up and save it up.
Yeah.
I like that. That should be a quote.
But it couldn't have been the worst job in the world because they let you take 2 years off. And I remember you in the town of Etna, you were like submitting an extension for your sabbatical
To
to
go
your
do the
employer.
New
In
Zealand.
July, so they emailed me to just remind me that if I wanted to extend it, I needed to do it at that time because it was like I needed to do it 3 months before the end of my current career break.
Mhm.
And at that time, New Zealand also announced that they were reopening their borders. So,
You're like,
let me
oh,
think. Yes.
let's go see some kiwis.
Maybe I
Yeah.
should go do another trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to go to the library in Etna to, no, it was, no, where was it?
Yeah, it was in Etna. I
It was in
remember
Etna,
that.
yeah.
Isn't it not? Yeah.
Yeah, because we were about to
To
leave.
print the form and fill it up and then scan it and send it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were
It was a
leaving
whole
to go
thing.
back on trail, and you were like, we were like, hey, are we going to see you on trail? And you were like, oh, I got to go put this time submission in. Like, I need to see if I can go do this other trail. I was like, what?
But we actually we got back on the PCT with Builda Bear. With Builda Bear and J-Lo, I think was the guy's name.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
so maybe we were
Yeah,
going
we
to
have
eat
a
dinner.
picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
have a
right.
picture
Okay,
together.
so maybe we were going to eat dinner or something when you did that,
Mhm.
because maybe we were asking you if you wanted to come to dinner. Okay, I do remember we
Maybe.
were like,
Yeah,
I just remember you being like, no, I can't because I got to go do this.
that's right. And we all met the next morning before we got back on trail at this bakery that was like
Yep.
filled to the
Remember it.
brim with hikers. It was
And
crazy.
everybody
It
was
crazy.
trying to get a ride, and we were like the only ones who'd actually scheduled a ride, and so everybody was trying to jump in with us. That was funny.
Yeah. Before we go any further and spoil some of the questions that we got for Builda, do you want to do our Cotton World updates?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I think the biggest update that we have is something that I'll let you disclose.
We are officially going to be doing the Arizona Trail. I did talk to my work people, and I got the thumbs up to do December to January for 6 weeks. So we are now actually officially planning to do the AZT.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a winter hike. And it's so funny how many people on the Arizona Trail are like, don't do it. You guys are going to die pretty much. And we're like, dude, we live in 10 feet of snow and we do it all the time. So yeah, we're actually pretty stoked to try it in December to January, mid-January. We're going to go Sobo, and you can talk more into that, but we're going to start planning it out now that we can.
We're going to officially buy the Far Out map today, which makes it real, right? It's not real until you have the map.
Yeah. So yes, that's a big update in our world. We'll start first week of December.
Yeah.
After Wesley's done with his semester.
Yep. And I think what this whole process has taught me is, I think it was a month and a half ago, I started following the AZT Facebook group, and just like, hey, we're gonna plan to possibly hike starting in December, and all these naysayers get in there, and I'm like, I can't take this fucking fear mongering anymore. Like, we experienced this on the PCT. I know you did too, Builda, and I just started blocking people because I don't want to hear it, because I know what we're capable of, what we've done, and the Arizona conditions, it might get a little nasty. But it's nothing we haven't already done.
Like, we're looking at maybe the highest levels they experience on the AZT trail is maybe 3 feet of snow. And I was like, that we can eat that for breakfast. Like, we have all the winter gear we need. We have snowshoes if we absolutely have to use them. Like, that doesn't scare me, hearing 3 feet of snow. And it's really funny, kind of, I guess, coming from a world of winter for 8 months of the year, where it snows all the time and we climb in the high mountains and we have 8 feet of snow or 10 feet of snow. And it's just not as, I don't know, perspective is everything. And so we're excited. We're excited to get to document that journey and get to tell people how it goes. We're going to try to take Loba, our dog.
We'll see how that goes. But there are three sections that she cannot go into. So we'll have to try and hop her through the Grand Canyon, Saguaro, stuff like that.
Logistics, yeah. But the one thing, though, she's going to have to learn is cacti, because she definitely stepped on a cacti on our last hike last weekend, and she was such a mess. She was limping. Wesley had to carry her.
It was a mess.
We pulled it, and she was crying. It's
so dramatic. Good.
Poor
so
baby.
dramatic.
I know.
And then we pulled it out, and she was still limping. And then we got to the car.
And as soon as we got to the car, she was fine. Walking on all 4
Just
feet.
fine.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny to experience.
It's up here.
It was mental. But anyway, so we'll have to figure that out with her on the AZT.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but we'll get there. We'll learn.
We're excited to start planning for a hike. We really wanted to do the CDT with y'all this year, but financially, it just has not worked out.
It's not.
Because I've been in school, so I haven't been bringing in income.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So maybe next year, that's our goal. That's our hope.
Yeah, but I guess
anyway.
the positive thing is that we can be here to support folks that we know from the PCT and kind of give you all a place to stay and maybe some good food too.
Yeah. Because we're only 2 miles from the trail, so we're a really good spot for people to dump into.
Just say that I love that you're Cotton World update is about trail.
Yes.
I
Love it.
don't really have any other updates, do you?
I don't think so. Work's been really, really busy.
Yeah.
Builda, do you have any updates in your life?
You're drinking a 9 point something% beer. That's an update.
It's lovely.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
I
not new.
should.
I kind of just spent my winter just training for a marathon that I ran about 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
2.5 weeks, and it was hard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know what happened, but I just started hurting like really bad after
Yeah.
I don't know 30K or something, and I was expecting like hitting the wall, like no energy and feeling kind of like tired after that
Yeah.
time, but not hurting, like actual
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you
feeling
finish?
that if yeah,
Did you
I did
finish?
finish, but I just walked most of the rest of the
The
time. I
last
just
part.
like
Yeah.
after like the last 2 kilometers, I just ran just the last stand,
Mm.
just okay, I'm finishing running, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude, there's
So
no shame in walking. We walk on ultra races, especially
all the
uphill.
time.
Yeah.
mhm,
Half
yeah,
of it is walking,
It's
but
true though.
like the shortest distance medal that I have.
now you have to do ultras, Builda. Now you got to do ultra
Yeah.
marathons.
Dude, can you imagine having done that right after you finished the AT? You would have
Mhm.
killed it, I'm sure.
Nope.
Crushed it. No?
No.
No?
Were you like
No.
exhausted? Yeah.
Running is not the same.
It's true. It's
It's
not.
true. But
Yep.
there's plenty of cardio involved in through hiking still.
Yeah, not really at the same level, I feel. Like, it's no, it doesn't translate that well. But the thing that I could do with like the hiking experience and the like fitness that I had is just train for longer time
Yeah.
Yeah.
during the week without
Yeah.
like risking any injuries or whatever. But
Yeah.
at first I wasn't super fast, uh, and you still have like some muscles that are not used the same way walking, hiking, and running. So you still have to develop those. And yeah, the cardio is not the same. Uh, it helps probably, but
Hmm.
it's not enough.
Yeah.
Still have to train.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's interesting, I guess. Because we've done some ultras and then we didn't ever do one after the PCT, like right after. I kind of wish we had, to be honest. There was a 100-mile race that we could have done.
Yeah.
But when you do ultras, though, you're not running the whole time. You're like half of it is
Mhm.
just through
Yeah.
hiking,
Yeah.
and then you're running the downhills pretty much.
And there are some people, they power hike ultra races.
Mhm.
They don't
Yeah,
even
some
run at all.
yeah, some people just power hike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun,
That'd
but
be interesting to see how that played out.
Yeah.
I know because some through hikers I feel like are faster than just runners.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I know I'm probably a faster through hiker than I am a jogger.
Did you start hallucinating when you were doing your marathon? Whenever we're on big races, around like mile 30,
No,
you
but
start like,
I had like a weird like mind fuck moment. Because by the time I was walking and I was just really having a bad time and just powering through it. And at some point, it's like one of the people just cheering that just shouts my name. And it was in Barcelona, and it's kind of close to France, so there were a lot
Yeah.
of French-speaking people there. And
mm-hmm.
this guy just cheering me, calling me by name in French, and I look at him and I have absolutely no idea who that is. So I just what? What? And then I remember that there's my name on the bib. And,
Aww.
but for a moment I was just,
Like, who
what's
the
happening?
fuck are you?
Like, who knows that I'm Pierre?
Like double take whiplash. That's amazing.
Oh,
It's cool. Well,
should we get into
I
our
guess
questions?
we should get into our questions with Builda.
Do you want to do evens or odds?
I'll do evens.
So, Build-A-Bear, I will start the question sets off. So we know that you've done the PCT in 22, you did the TA in 22, 23, and then you did the Appalachian Trail in 23. Have you done any other hikes that we don't know about before? Like
Yeah,
any of the
so
GRs?
yeah, kind of. I've done a lot of shorter hikes, mostly in France. It's
Mm,
close to home and easy to get to, and there's beautiful mountains and plenty of cool stuff to see. And
yeah.
yeah, mostly started hiking in 2016,
Mm,
and I think the one of the first like kind of long hikes that I really went someplace to hike like a few days, and uh, I actually went to Scotland with like a guy I met on the internet on a like hiking forum, French forum, and we actually met uh, face to face in Scotland. We didn't meet each other before, and
mm-hmm.
we went on a bit of the West Island way in
Oh,
Scotland
nice.
for I think it was about 5 or 6 days, and we had like crazy luck with the weather. It was in
Mm-hmm.
October, so it's supposed to be like super rainy and shitty weather
Yeah.
there. But we had like 5 days straight without rain.
Oh.
So we hopped off the trail and just into like the next valleys and just followed that one. And it was the first time on a hike where I didn't see anyone else than the guy I was
Wow.
hiking with for like
Yeah.
a full day. And it really like struck a chord with me. Yep, I want to do that again. Like
Yeah.
not see people. I don't know what that says about me, but I felt something.
Yeah.
So for me that was kind of the first kind of big one. The next year I went to Corsica in France and
Oh, the
did like
GR20.
part of it. So I was there in
Oh,
May, and at that time of year there's still plenty of snow in the northern part. That's like the
yeah.
most rugged part, and this
Mm-hmm.
like and so I did kind of go around that part. So I started in the same town and then took other trails that go like lower in elevation and go through
Mm-hmm.
small towns and villages along the way, and had like a good time then. And then we joined the GR20 for the second half, uh, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
We attempted the GR20, but I think I was so in a mental space after the TMB and just traveling for 10 months that I we had a heavy pack for that one, and
Yeah.
climbing that one part at the very beginning with the rocks, the rock faces. I just couldn't do it. I
Wh-
was like, I need a break.
When we got to the part that said Bon Courage.
We were like, why is that there? Didn't realize we were going to be rock climbing, bouldering up a rock
yeah.
face.
Yeah. Builda, would you mind explaining real quick for folks who may not know what the GR trails are in Europe? What GR stands
Uh,
for?
so it stands for Grande Randonnée, so kind of great hike, or it means basically just long trails, and
Mm,
it's not really as developed in the like through hiking way as like the national scenic trails are in the US, but they are like continuous-ish trails. Sometimes they help on the road or something, but and they are way marked and like you can find them on the official maps, etc. But yeah, so it's basically just trails. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're just all GRs and then a number.
Yeah, it's like GR5,
Yeah,
GR4, GR. Because when we did the
yeah, and
TMB,
you
I
have
don't remember
some
what it
like
was.
famous ones, like GR20 in Corsica. You have the GR10 and 11 in the Pyrenees. There's the
Mm,
GR10 in the French on the French side, and GR11 on the Spanish side. There's the
Hmm.
GR5 that goes through the Alps, but
Yes.
actually it starts in the Netherlands on the North Sea and then
Hmm.
ends in the Mediterranean. So uh, yeah, it's a long trail, but usually when people say, "Oh, I hiked the GR5," they usually just talk about like
Mm.
the section in the Alps, so from I guess uh, Switzerland to the sea or something like that, because really no one just hikes through the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the like northeast of France. That's
Is
no,
it
no,
not
no, no.
like it's
It's
like people are like
it's
whatever.
yeah,
Stop.
it's technically there, but no one really hikes it like
That's
for
so
the trail.
interesting.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
We met a guy who was doing the GR5 when we did the TMB, and he
Mhm.
was, where did he start? I think he started in the
I
Netherlands.
think so. His name
He,
was Baptiste.
Baptiste, and he was like, it was his first ever hike through hike, and he was already midway, and he was trying to get out before the snow hit.
And
Um,
boy, his pack was
Yeah.
it was
huge. He had a
huge.
grocery bag of food like hanging off the outside of his pack. It was
It
amazing.
was amazing. But he yeah, we were like, dude, you need to do like a trail in America. Because if you can do the GR5 like fully,
Mhm.
like you'd crush that.
Yeah.
But he was a nice kid.
Have you ever thought of doing a trail like the Via Francigena,
Mm.
which goes from like Rome to Canterbury?
Uh, yeah, definitely have like some longer trails in Europe on my
Okay.
to-do list, but no like definite plans yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
The
know.
one you
Yeah.
do have planned though, the CDT, and that is going to be this
Yeah.
year. When is your start date?
Yep. The 26th, so just under a month from now.
Oh, that's
Still
That's
have
like
exciting.
to finish
3
my backpack.
weeks. You're
Yep.
making your backpack for this one?
Yep. Yeah.
That is such a
Sweet.
good
So
segue to the
Segue.
next question.
I know.
You want to ask it?
Yeah. I do want to talk more about the
still have some
CDT
more hikes
after.
that I need.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
We feel you on that one. Okay, so we the reason you got your name Build a Bear is because you had made so much of your own gear before you started the PCT. And so can you talk through like why what gear did you make and then why didn't you just buy it?
So on the PCT, I made like my backpack, my quilt. Uh, I had like my pants, a wind shirt, and bunch of stuff sacks, and I think that most of it had like this uh, fleece beanie in the Polartec Alpha that I had added like ears on it, hence
Bear
the
ears.
name.
Yeah.
Hence the name
Uh,
Build a Bear.
yeah, yeah, bunny ears were too long and too heavy.
Yeah. You got to save the weight.
That's amazing. So why
Yeah.
didn't you then just buy all of this? What compelled you to make it?
Uh, yeah, I like to say that sewing and making stuff is like a separate hobby from hiking. It just like complements it well, so I can make my own stuff and but if it wasn't that, I would have had like another creative hobby and like making other
Mm.
stuff like but uh yeah, once you kind of use like high-end fabrics and materials, it's expensive. It takes a lot of time and research, and if you count the hours that you put in, it's not really worth it if you're not enjoying the process. So I would not recommend trying to make your own gear just to save money
Yeah.
because yeah, as I said, all those kind of niche cottage manufacturers and small companies that make great stuff that's light, simple, and well made. They have like better deals than you would have on the materials.
Yeah.
Mm.
So For example, if I was to just make a copy of a Z-Pax shelter, uh, just the dynamo alone would cost me the same as the full tent from Z-Pax if I bought it in the US.
Because they buy it in such bulk, they get a huge
Yeah,
discount. Yeah.
So you're saying that you do this just because you love it. You just like
yeah,
creating these hiking gear things and seeing what you can do
mostly.
with
Yep.
them.
And
And
there's a bit of
I, I,
pride there
I
too.
still have like an excuse to use it because I also love hiking and it
Yeah.
becomes like the inspiration. And okay, when I'm hiking and using my stuff, I say, okay, is this working the way I want it to? Could it be better? Is it what I need? Is it what I want? And you know,
Mm.
most of what I think of in terms of gear is while hiking, and sometimes I will just have like a small how to say like paper and just take notes
Okay.
at the end of the day and maybe next pack I will do this and that and try something. I think for backpacks now I've had it kind of dialed down to exactly the pack that I want for most hikes.
Yeah.
Uh, there's always like this specific thing that you might want to do, so you have to have exactly the pack that goes for that. So if you
Okay.
want to kind of do some fast-paced stuff and sometimes run, you might want like a like running vest pack, like you have with the Ultimate Direction packs that
Yeah.
you've used.
Like a fast pack.
Yeah.
What do you use a sewing machine when you create this
Yep.
gear? Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I figured. Okay.
So most people that say handmade, they don't mean handmade. They use a
Right, they
machine.
use a sewing machine. Yeah. Dude, I used to sew actually. So I was like, "Oh, I kind of miss sewing. I kind of want to try this and see what comes out
Oh
of it."
shit.
But
Yeah. But I guess you have to hand load the machine. So it's kind of handmade, right?
I mean, hand loading a
Is that a
sewing
stretch?
machine is not really, it's very easy. Just pop,
Yeah.
pop, pop.
Once it's threaded,
Do,
Yeah.
do,
you
do,
kind
do,
of
do, do,
just
do.
push on the pedal with your foot, and
Hmm.
you can just let go, and it
Yep,
just
it
works.
just goes. Yeah, it's so wonderful. It's very therapeutic. I
It's
feel
like
like sewing
magic.
machines. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Kappa talking about this. He said that there aren't that many great gear manufacturers in Europe for making like kind of niche, like lightweight stuff. You've got Fjallraven, you've got Jack Wolfskin, and what's
Rab,
the other one? Rab from the UK. You want to speak to that a little
is that
bit?
true? You seem
Uh,
like, no, that's
no,
not true.
no. There's definitely some like if you want to go into like ultralights and kind of really niche hiking stuff, there's a few like small cottage brands.
Okay.
Okay.
Most that I know of are in France because most of the people who launch them are also on the forum that I spoke of, and like it's a small world, so
Yeah.
I kind of know these people from there, and yeah, no, but there's definitely like small companies that make or sell stuff here in Europe, so
Okay.
I probably say that on average maybe more expensive than the stuff that you can get in the US, mostly because like the companies are smaller, so they yeah don't get
Okay.
the same good deals on the materials, and
Mm.
it's just usually a couple of people doing everything.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about starting your own company, Builda?
Yep,
There you
it's
go.
Oh,
it's in the works
yay.
Okay.
eventually.
Really? Oh
Dude,
my
that's
gosh.
awesome.
Okay. Please keep us updated about that. I mean, we would
Well,
love
there's
to.
not much happening before the CVT, but after that,
Okay.
Okay.
it's
Okay.
We'll
coming.
have you back on
It's
then.
it's not going to
Yeah.
be big. It's just I want to make more backpacks, but I
Yay.
don't need
Okay.
I don't need more backpacks.
Yeah.
So if I want to make more backpacks, I need someone to like use them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we would definitely be interested in
Yeah.
that at some point. We love backpacks.
And I feel like whenever companies get too big, they start outsourcing manufacturing and like, yeah, I feel like whenever you get too big as a company, you start to lose like integrity for your product because it's made elsewhere. And I feel like I've noticed that with Arc'teryx at least. We used to dump a lot of money for Arc'teryx, and now the quality is just kind of
It's gone down.
a little bit. So that's whenever we made the transition over to Rab, and we've appreciated Rab gear, but we're also dabbling in like cottage companies and stuff too.
Yeah, we do love our cottage companies. We've been really
Yeah.
starting to like. I mean, we got a Z pack. We did get
Yeah.
a Z pack.
I wouldn't call Z-Pack a cottage company. But
Not anymore, I guess.
It used
but
to
they
be.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Used to be.
But you know who is a cottage company? And I this might not even be an advertisement for them, but I'm so excited about these Build-A-Bear.
Oh.
These little shoes, they're made out of like plastic poster board.
Yeah.
And
I've
the
seen
pair,
those.
the
They're all-
Mayfly? Yeah.
They're called
Yeah.
Mayfly.
These are 2 ounces for the pair.
I think it was Shroom Boots on the PCT who had them.
Oh, he had some?
Maybe?
Huh.
I don't
didn't even
know.
know.
Maybe I'm thinking of maybe I'm getting mixed up with someone I met on the
Huh.
AT.
I remember
either way-
Chief.
Someone that I met on trail that had them hated them.
Oh, he.
Because-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because they're like just slippery when wet.
Oh.
So yeah.
I see.
I am a Crocs girl. I do love my Crocs.
The
Like
Crocs are
even if
nice.
they're heavy, I love them. Just can't get away from my Crocs.
I
They're
wanna-
so
I
comfortable.
want to give these a shot.
Okay, yeah. Wesley
Yeah.
really wants to try them. I mean, I'm gonna try them too. But
I mean, they're
Right.
shaving like
Kappa
10
did
ounces.
hike from Tehachapi to Kennedy Meadows in Crocs
Yeah.
because he had already his shoes sent to Kennedy Meadows and his previous pair just completely died before
my
that, so he
gosh.
hiked 70 miles in Crocs.
Wait,
Oh
you
my
said
god.
you said Jedi?
I think it was
did?
fine. He just put like his super feet insoles in the Crocs.
Uh-huh.
Worked like a charm.
That's amazing.
Oh my god! I don't think I realized that Kappa hiked in Crocs for 70
I remember
miles.
Kappa taking shoes out of the hiker box and Kennedy like screwing with the soles.
I do remember
No,
that.
that was me.
That
Oh,
was you. Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. You
And
did.
I got like new insoles from Boomy.
That's what it was. Yes.
Okay.
Because I was noticing that I lost a bunch of cushioning on my shoes,
Yeah.
and starting to hurt at the ankles and knees.
Yeah.
I was just looking at insoles in the store, and I wasn't sure about the super fit insoles, like with the like hard cup underneath under the heel. I thought, okay, maybe it's going to just like mess up how my shoes feel, and I didn't want to take that kind of risk. Later on, I still tried them, and I love them, and now I'm I'm using them in every shoe,
Yeah.
every shoe I wear on
Really?
trail. Yeah,
So even after that, now you're still using those everywhere.
yeah.
Wow.
Man,
Just
You're-
dropping an extra $50 for every other pair that I buy. But no, I did the math, and if you get like a pair of trail runners and $150, and you put an extra $50 insoles in them, that's 200. You wear them for like 600 miles, so and you hike about 3 miles an hour. Every hour, it's $1
wow.
that you spend just on shoes.
This is what he did on his Trail Zeros. He figured out
Yeah.
We just figured it out. This
Yeah.
is what Builda is thinking when he
Math.
hikes. He's math.
Just out there in the woods doing math.
Yeah. You could see the numbers above his head. I still remember in Kennedy Meadows, I made little like insulation koozies for our power banks. And I was so proud of them. And I was like, Build-A-Bear, what do you think about these? And you're like, it's okay. I'm like,
We're
fuck
like,
you,
it's
dude.
okay. That was so funny.
Really?
He
I was so proud of those.
He was so proud.
Oh, sorry
It
about
was
that.
funny.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It was funny. We thought it was hilarious. He like really wanted your approval, and you were like,
It's okay.
"He's okay."
I was really hoping that they would like help conserve some of the charge on our power bank, 'cause I don't know if it even worked, but I remember reading about it, so I did.
I mean, we did use them for a bit, but then we tossed them after.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think
funny.
Who
for the
remembers?
batteries, the thing is mostly trying to get them warmed up before you use them. Uh,
Yeah.
that's what you need to do, because if you just like get them cold and then warm again before you use them, it's not that bad, I think.
Mm,
But
okay.
yeah, batteries are complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
Ooh, yeah, I think it's time for our next question for you. This does build a bear off of the last question we asked. What is the most complicated piece of gear that you've made, or it could even be the backpack that you're making? I'm just curious what it is.
Uh, yeah, not really. Like making backpacks is just my favorites because I don't know, I just like the end product and I like using my backpacks and they work and I'm kind of proud of them. But I'd say like the most complicated thing that I made was like the wind shirt that I had on the PCT, like the green one. Mostly because like it was just a regular button-up pattern that I use. So there's a bunch of things that's just made to just kind of look good, like small details. They just take a bunch of time and, bunch of different pieces to put together and takes a lot of time. Um, I think the longest to make is usually like down-filled quilts. It's a pain. I've made three, and every time I just think, okay, this is the last time. I'm never doing that again because it just takes so long, and it's a bunch of like long seams. For each baffle is like two 1.5 meters seams of five
Yeah.
feet. So you do that twice for like 15-ish baffles, and it's a lot of sewing. And
I'll
then
bet it
after
is.
that, you still have to fill it with down, and that's also like a whole thing, whole
Yeah.
process. So,
how long does it make to take? Or wow, how long does it take to make a sleeping bag?
uh, I'm not sure because I always did it like uh, in the evenings and over the weekend, so like small
Over time.
sessions. I didn't really count how long it would take, but somewhere 2 weeks ish of
Okay.
maybe every other evening doing an hour or two. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Something
not
like that.
bad.
It's
Okay. I was thinking like months is what I was thinking. So
many.
that's okay. That's cool.
So
But
it sounds like are you a fan of the horizontal baffles or the vertical?
Mm.
I've only done horizontal
Okay.
baffles, but I also like, having some more overfill over the legs because I
Yeah.
usually have a warm layer on top. So if I want like an even insulation, I need more
Mm.
down on my legs on the sleeping bag, and I can wear like a fleece or puffy jackets on top.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of a warm layers for the legs. I did make like a Polartec Alpha pants here for the CDT.
Okay.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's smart too because it gets cold.
It does. Wait, I think I had something else to ask about this.
I did have a question about the sleeping bag.
Uh,
Go
there's
ahead.
one more
Oh.
thing for that question. That one specific thing that I was never successful at making is tents. I've never made like a shelter or a tent that I liked. It's just didn't work.
Really?
I did make one for the AT, and it was just based on like
You didn't
designs that
like
I've
it? Okay.
seen, and
Okay.
yeah, it just didn't work out, and a bunch of splashing from the rain, and I also messed up
Mm.
like the seam sealing and didn't use the right uh, seam sealer, and it peeled off, and yeah, it was a mess. It looked cool, but
Okay. So if anyone sees you loitering around their campsite, you're taking notes on their gear, is what it sounds like.
uh,
You're not
maybe
You
creeping.
observing.
no. I don't know. It's creepy. It's just there's a reason to it.
Yeah. Do you sketch out your mental designs?
Uh, yeah. Um, roughly, I think I have some because I'm making my backpack, so I have
Okay.
some sketches, but they're like rough stuff.
Okay.
It's just drawing like the shape of the side bucket here with like the
Okay.
corners cut
Dude.
out, and it's just measurements. It's
Okay.
it's nothing fancy or like there you can see like the pack body and the places where I would like insert the
Oh
shoulder
wow.
straps.
Oh.
But m mostly it's just like keeping track of the sizes of all the pieces so that I can cut them, and next time I know, okay, this one needs to be this size, and this time I actually just bought like a bunch of cardboard sheets and I cut out the pattern so I can just put it on and trace it next time.
Smart.
Love
Hopefully it
that.
will save some time.
Yes,
For
to make multiple backpacks.
for when the business kicks in.
Yep.
For
Smart.
example.
Yeah.
I
You
think that's
know,
so smart.
one thing I learned going back to sleeping bags is that female bags have more down in them. I was shocked by that. They were warmer and they have more like insulation in the butt and the legs
It's
especially.
because we get colder.
Man,
That's
I,
why.
I definitely used I bought a woman's backpack and used it.
You mean sleeping bag.
Sleeping oh my god. I bought a woman's sleeping bag and used it and
You
it was
did.
it was wonderful.
Yeah. Wait, what kind of uh what am I trying to say? What kind of product do you use on a sleeping bag? What's the outside or the
What
layers?
denier?
Uh, so the one that I've used on the PCT and 80, it's 7 denier by 4, so it's like the lightest that I could find. It's
Yeah.
not super breathable compared to another one that I had that's in 10 denier, and it's like really more comfortable and breathable, and overall like I like it better. Uh, but yeah, it's one thing that I really realize is how like the breathability of the fabric is important for this, even for a quilt that's open and you have like uh, drafts, and it should breathe, but especially if you're in like wet conditions and it's rainy or foggy, you have
Yeah.
condensation at night. It's super important to keep like the down inside the sleeping bag or quilt dry so that it keeps you warm. So all
Mhm.
the moisture has to be able to go through the two layers of fabric. The one that I had in New Zealand on the TA was in the more breathable tendinier, and I
Hmm.
like it was the rainiest spring there in 10 years,
Wow.
so it was wet, and I
Yeah.
never had any problem with like my down being squished because it was like moist, uh, and it was like just a good combination of good quality down and good breathable fabric. So
Mm.
I would definitely recommend uh, not especially going for the lightest fabric that you can find, but it still has to perform, you know.
Mm.
It's really helpful
You,
actually.
you would think that the lighter material would be more breathable, but the tendonier, which is a
Uh,
little bit heavier,
no,
is.
because the thing is, if you want to make it downproof, you have to avoid any spaces in between the threads.
Yeah.
So what they
Mm.
do usually is think it translates to calendaring. So basically just pass the fabric between two like hot rollers and it's kind of squished down and flattened. And this like makes all the threads kind of flatter and connects together instead of being like round
Okay.
and this
Oh.
makes it like less breathable but also downproof. Uh,
Okay.
so it's complicated to make something that's at the same time breathable and at the
Mhm.
same time downproof. It's kind
Okay.
of the same thing with waterproof materials. It's
Ah.
yeah.
This explains why I got a 7 denier
Yeah.
quilt from EE, and every single morning
Wet.
I have like at least a damp layer on top, and that's probably from my body heat
Yeah.
it causing
Maybe
condensation.
not, because if you look on their website, the 7 denier fabric is supposed to be the most breathable out of
Oh.
the three they have. So I'm not sure that's it.
Okay, so what could be
But I
causing
have
that?
to say that their 7 denier fabric, I had like the torrid puffy jacket with that
Yeah,
fabric, and when it's wet or moist, it just really kind of clings to the skin, and it's really not comfortable.
yeah.
Uh, so I'm not a huge fan of that one. I know I have like another one in 10 denier, and it's I like it better. So
Okay,
yeah, not a whole lot of luck with like lighter than 7 denier fabrics on my side.
That's helpful
yeah.
actually.
So you're saying go for 10 deniers if you have the option. Just carry a little bit extra weight.
I think for me that's a sweet spot in most of the fabrics that I've used. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Okay.
No, that's
but
helpful.
you know, maybe some other like manufacturers will come up with something that works. So
Yeah.
it's still worth like trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, the lighter fabrics that I know of and that I've used and tried uh, are not working as good as the other ones,
Okay.
like the 10 deniers. But not
Sorry.
all 10 denier fabrics are good either. So
Okay.
it's not as simple as that.
Huh.
You
So
can
so
still
here's a
have you can still have like a shitty 10 denier fabric.
mm, in your expert gear advice, why do you think my 7 denier was wet every single morning? And given this, we're in Colorado, so it's
It's
not extremely
dry.
humid, and a lot of the time I was camped above 9 or 10,000 feet, so condensation shouldn't have been a huge issue.
Yeah, so there's like, you know, the moisture comes from somewhere. It's probably not the outside air because, you know, it's dry
Yeah.
climate. Uh, could come, uh, I don't know what the season was and if you were camping like
Summer.
on in summer. So probably not either like moisture from the ground. Probably it was like you just like breathing and
Mm.
not sweating, but perspiration. So
Yeah.
you know the skin is not actually fully waterproof. So this, if even if you're cold and not sweating, there's still moisture coming out.
Yeah.
And if it's cold at night, at some point, it might uh, still reach dew point, so where the water condenses, and
Okay.
um, that can happen like inside the sleeping bag. So you know, the further you go from the inside where it's warm, and then the
Hmm.
temperature decreases as the further you go, and then if this temperature goes below the dew point, uh, while it's still inside, like the insulation of your sleeping bag, that's
Yeah.
the place where it will start condensing. So that's where like you will have like the liquid water. You don't really want either to like have that dew point outside because that means that the outside of your sleeping bag is warm, so that means you're losing like a bunch of heat, and it that means your sleeping bag is not
Hmm.
really like warm enough. So
Okay.
there's no easy fix for that. Uh, some people do like have like two sleeping bags or quilts, one inside each other, and the other one is like synthetic fill, so that it's not as sensitive to the water. So you have to kind of get the right ratio of insulation between one and the other, so that the dew point will be inside the synthetic fill, and then you just only have to dry that one during the next day, but you still have to do that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Wow.
not like managing all the moisture and condensation. It's hard.
It
It's
is.
Well, you also sleep with your mouth open.
I'm a mouth breather.
He's a mouth
Yeah.
breather, so that could also be a part of it.
Yeah, but I use a sleeping bag liner. I have a 7 denier 950 fill, and every single morning the outside of the bag
What?
would be damp, but the inside is perfect, just like you're saying. So I guess it's reaching that cooler dew point.
That's
yeah.
interesting. Wow.
What do you
But
feel
if,
about?
if you don't like get cold because all the down is squished down because it's wet,
Yeah,
I wouldn't try to fix a problem that's not actually a problem. If you
it's
just have the
fine.
time to dry it out the next day, uh,
Yep.
It
you're
is what it
probably
is. Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I would usually do. What do you feel about maybe like waterproofing a sleeping bag? So using a waterproof material or putting like a topical.
You mean like waterproof fabric or waterproof like water repellent down or something like that? I don't
Uh,
know.
so either like a waterproof fabric, or sometimes you can wash pieces of gear in a waterproofing treatment,
Yeah.
and it should like waterproof it for a certain period
Yeah,
of
it's
time.
water repellent.
Yeah, DWR.
It's not a bad idea, but it probably won't help as much as you want it to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
if you're already like washing your down stuff, uh, it's not a whole lot of hassle to like treat it afterwards.
Okay.
So
okay. All
you
right.
might as well do it.
Good thought.
Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed the first part of our two-part episode with Pierre, Build-A-Bear, Paladin.
Buildy Bear.
It's going to be on hiker hacks. And actually, in this first part, we didn't touch a whole lot on the hack part of it. We talked more about like making gear and actually a lot of science behind sleeping bags and, that really infamous like condensation issue, which I suffer from all the time.
I don't, but it's very fascinating to hear
Yeah.
kind of what he explains in the gear world and how he creates so much of his gear, which is really cool.
Yeah. Build-A-Bear is awesome. And if you want to actually listen to like some really in-depth hacks from Build-A-Bear, but also from us, we'll have those in part 2 of the Hiker Hacks episode with Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We will have a part 2 for this one because it did go slightly long.
Slightly long, and we cut this one a little short because we were just swamped. This is my finals week for school right now, and
I've got a
Marie
lot of film projects right now.
she's in the butthole of film world right now.
I mean, it's great. I'm so glad we're busy, but it's definitely a lot right now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned for part 2. We're super excited that you guys listened to our part 1. Thank you. And also, we love how many people have been reaching out to us on our email or our DMs. It's been amazing. So if you have any thoughts, comments, anything you want to hear about, any questions, we really want to hear from you. So email us at yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com or DM us at our Yeti Walks Into Basecamp Instagram. Or also, I guess we're trying to get people away from the Ginger and the Joy.
I guess they could still do it on the Ginger and the Joy.
You can still DM us there if you want to.
Yeah.
And we're coming up with a couples episode. And so all things couples, if you have any questions about hiking as a couple, if you're a couple and you're thinking about doing a trail together, anything really, any question you may have as for us as a couple through hiking and being married doing it, please shoot us an email or DM with your questions. We would really love to answer them.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we should cover in the outro right here?
I think that's it.
I think that is it. Oh. Yes, we now have subscriptions for Apple Podcast as well as Spotify and Patreon subscriptions. We only have the one episode right now,
but we have some coming down the pipe.
Yeah, B1 concerning trail poops, and the B comes from bonus. So whenever you see B, that means bonus.
Not bitch.
I was gonna think maybe Balerian
or bastard
or butterscotch
or bowel movements.
Why are all of your B's negative?
They're not. Bitch means female dog.
Bowel movement.
Loba is a bitch.
I mean, she is. You're right.
Sorry, Loba.
It's
okay. It's not a bad thing. Anyway.
And you're a bastard because we don't know who your father is.
No. Oh, bless. Her last name would be Snow, but we adopted her.
Yeah, it would be Snow.
So now it's Black.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, yes, we do have some coming down the pipe. Please stay tuned for that. If you'd like to join our subscription episodes, we're always very grateful and thankful for anyone who wants to. Mm-hmm. And we do have some coming down the pipe. So do not be dismayed. Don't you worry or fret.
Yes. So the Apple and the Spotify are both $3.99, and that gets you those subscriber-only episodes. But if you want to go on the Patreon, it's $1 more. And we post additional content on there, like a spreadsheet for gear with hyperlinks. Basecamp is going to have a spreadsheet on there for like town stops and stuff.
Resupply, plug and play
that thing. And we do have a document on there with all of our comprehensive discount codes that you can use to get anywhere from 10 to 20% off some of our favorite brands that we like to represent.
Pretty great gears.
So they're all going to be on one document in Patreon, as opposed to you having to go to all of our different episodes and listen or check out the show notes to try and find those codes. So if you want to make life easier for you for $1 extra, you can do that.
Yeah, and you get to see all our photos and videos of places that we're talking about, which is cool.
Yeah, PG-13, nothing rated R.
PG-13?
Yeah.
Do we have any PG? What are PG-13s?
No nudity.
Are we kissing in something or
no?
So PG.
Yeah.
I guess. Anyway, but
I guess it's PG.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, everyone. We really appreciate it.
Yep. And I think this is the part of the episode where we give a huge shout out to the Fire Once Lost for our intro and our outro.
Thanks, man. And again, we always say this, but he did just release a new album or new songs. So definitely give them a look-sees or a listen, because they're amazing. There's a few.
No, I said songs.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, pretty sure there's a number of songs.
Plurality.
But yeah, they're really good. They're pretty great, especially if you're hiking. They got some good rhythm to them.
Yeah. It's a good album to like smoke some weed to and listen to.
By a campfire.
Or
take some shrooms.
Even though we don't smoke weed. But yes, if I did, I can imagine it would be a great album to do that with.
Yeah.
Anyway. I think that's all.
Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank all of you for your listening patronage.
And watching.
If
you're watching.
Yes. Don't forget we have a YouTube where we post a lot of these video recordings. Yeah, I think we should do the HT thing at the very end.
Well, as we like to say in the hiking community,
Happy trails.